pandemic is having devastating effects all across the country. In Tennessee, the people who are fighting to break the cycle of addiction are fighting with each other.
Catherine Marchand joins us now to explain what the issue is and how it affects you. Catherine.
Kim and Josh, the opioid crisis has put pharmaceutical companies and healthcare providers in the spotlight. In Tennessee, several district attorneys sued them for flooding communities with pills and profiting from it. But now the top legal advisor in the state, the Attorney General, is telling those DAs to back down.
I'm doing great, physically, spiritually, emotionally.
Alfredo EXPOSITO is in recovery at Teen Challenge Mid-South Adult Center. He first tried pain pills in college. When he couldn't afford prescription drugs anymore, he switched over to heroin.
I was an honor roll student in high school. I had a 3.7 in my first year in college, and I didn't think that a pill was going to take over my life.
EXPOSITO says people don't understand how addictive these drugs are. District Attorney Steve CRUMP believes drug manufacturers and distributors wanted it that way.
In Bradley County alone, there were 140-something thousand prescriptions for 105,000 residents. That gives you an idea of the scope of this problem.
He and 13 other DAs in Tennessee filed lawsuits against pharmaceutical companies and healthcare providers. But tonight, Attorney General Herbert Slattery says this is the wrong approach, writing each state cannot bring 14 people to the table and expect to accomplish anything. He's calling for one centralized response led by his office. But Crump says that's not the best thing for his community.
Any monies that I realize or that my office realizes out of this lawsuit will come directly straight back to the 10th Judicial District, Bradley, Polk, McMinn, and Monroe counties.
His concern is that if the state does reach a settlement, it won't trickle down to the hardest hit communities. And if he has a seat at the table, he could ensure that money would be used for local prevention and treatment so that there are more success stories like EXPOSITO's.
I plan on getting a job and going out and doing society the way it was supposed to be done, the way my parents taught me, and living for God.
The state attorney general's office says it's leading a coalition of 40 states that are investigating the opioid manufacturers. But Crump says the state hasn't actually filed a lawsuit because the attorney general is trying to reach a settlement first. Josh.
Catherine, thank you. Crump also told us that back in 2007, 27 attorneys general across the country agreed to collectively settle opioid claims brought against Purdue Pharma. Tennessee only received $750,000, and more than half of that went to attorney's fees for the AG's office.
A political ad running right here on our station and other local